The first thing Harper Reed registered was pain. A throbbing, merciless, skull-pounding pain that started somewhere behind her eyes and radiated through every nerve in her body like a bad decision on a loop. Her mouth tasted like regret and tequila, her tongue dry as sandpaper, and the air around her felt far too luxurious to be the grimy motel she vaguely remembered checking into. Wait, this wasn't her room. This wasn't any room she remembered. The sheets were too soft, the air too cold, and the chandelier on the ceiling looked like it cost more than her entire student loan debt. Panic settled in her chest like ice as she sat up, too fast, and immediately regretted it. The pounding in her head doubled, and the taste of last night's mistakes crawled up her throat. She clutched the silk sheets to her chest and blinked hard, trying to focus. Her eyes landed on something on the nightstand. A paper. No, a certificate. Her heart stopped. Certificate of marriage. Her name was printed on the page, clear as day. Harper Elise Reed. The other name hit her like a freight train. Alexandra Santoro.
No.
No, 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 no. You're awake. The voice was smooth, low, and sinful, like velvet soaked in whiskey. Harper whipped her head around so fast she saw stars. And then her vision cleared just enough to take in the woman lounging at the edge of the bed, shirt unbuttoned, legs crossed, smirking like a devil who just signed a soul. Tousled dark hair. Piercing gray eyes. That scar on her collarbone. Oh my God. Alexandra Alex Santoro. Heiress to the Santoro crime family. Tabloid fixture. Rumored killer. And, apparently, Harper's wife. No offense, Harper croaked, but what the actual fuck is going on? Alex chuckled and leaned back, arms behind her head, like this was the most natural thing in the world. Morning, Mrs. Santoro. Don't call me that, Harper hissed, clutching the sheet tighter. This isn't real. This is some prank. I don't even like you. Didn't seem that way last night, Alex said with a wink. Harper's entire body flushed hot. Her stomach twisted. She couldn't remember a single goddamn thing after the third shot of something purple and glowing. What happened? We got married, Alex said, all faux innocence. You insisted on it. Said it was the most romantic thing ever. You even cried. You're lying. Vegas Chapel, Elvis impersonator, rings and vows. Very dramatic. You kissed me twice before we even left the altar. Harper groaned and dropped her head into her hands. Oh my God. You also told me I had the most perfect mouth you'd ever seen. Stop talking. And you licked tequila off my Alexandra. That made her laugh again, loud and unapologetic. Harper wanted to crawl into a hole and die. Or rewind time. Or annul whatever the hell this was before her mom found out and had a stroke. Okay, Harper said, trying to breathe. We'll go to the courthouse. Get it annulled. Easy. Done. Alex's smile vanished. Just like that, the playful glint in her eyes hardened. Actually, I was thinking we wouldn't do that. Harper stared at her. Excuse me? I have a proposition for you, Alex said, sitting up fully now, suddenly all business. The change in her demeanor was sharp, calculated, dangerous. Harper felt the shift like a drop in temperature. You stay married to me for 6 months. 6 months. Harper sputtered. Why the hell would I? And in exchange, Alex continued smoothly, I'll pay off your student loans. All of them. Plus rent. Plus a bonus. Harper's jaw dropped. You can't be serious. Completely serious. Why would you want to stay married to me? Alex's gaze was steady. Because I need a respectable wife. Someone clean. Professional. Someone my family's old men can stomach, so they stop blocking me from taking control of certain legitimate businesses. You're perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm a mess. You're a lawyer. Harvard grad. No criminal record. Politely pretty. Exactly the kind of boring they trust. I'm not boring. You are to them. That's what makes you valuable. Harper stared, speechless. Her head still ached. Her stomach twisted. Everything felt surreal. And the way Alex was looking at her now, steady, calm, unblinking, made it impossible to tell if this was the worst day of her life or the most important. "So," Alex said softly, "what's 6 months of pretending compared to a lifetime of debt?" Harper didn't answer. She couldn't, because somewhere, buried under the panic and the nausea and the confusion, was intrigue. And God help her, a flicker of want. The thing about Alex Santoro was that she didn't wait for anything. Not for cab rides, not for answers, and certainly not for nervous, hungover newlyweds who were still trying to decide if they were in a dream or a full-blown nightmare. Harper had barely made it out of the bed and into the bathroom when the door to the penthouse swung open and 2 men in black suits stepped inside. She peeked from the edge of the hallway, towel around her torso, and froze. They were both tall, clean-cut, and unmistakably armed. Not the discreet type either. One had a gun bulge under his jacket, the other held a sleek tablet like it was a weapon. Harper's voice trembled. Alex." Alex strolled out from the adjoining room, now fully dressed in a navy blue tailored suit that fit her like sin. She barely glanced at the men. "That was fast." "You said urgent," the older one replied. "It is," Alex said, turning to Harper with that same unreadable expression. "Hope you like Italian. You're meeting the family tonight." Harper blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "Dinner. With the Santoros. Tonight. 7 sharp. Dress appropriately." "I'm not. We're not actually married, Alex. I haven't agreed to anything." And yet, Alex pulled something from her pocket and tossed it onto the bed. A diamond ring. Platinum, probably. Gorgeous. Way too big. "You wore this last night." Harper stared at the ring. Her head throbbed harder. "You can't just drop this on me like I'm your pawn." "You're not a pawn. You're my wife." "Temporarily." Semantics. Harper narrowed her eyes. "You're serious about this?" "Completely. And if I say no?" Alex didn't smile this time. She just held Harper's gaze with quiet intensity. "Then you walk out of here. No ring. No deal. No protection." That last word landed like a bullet. "Protection?" Harper repeated, heart thudding. "I don't need protection." "From what?" Alex's expression didn't change, but something darker flickered in her eyes. "From anyone who might take issue with your face being plastered next to mine in security footage, chapel photos, hotel records. Anyone who thinks you might be a leverage." Harper's blood ran cold. "So now I'm in danger?" "Not if you stay with me. Not if you play the role. This is blackmail. This is survival. You're in it now, Harper. Like it or not. Might as well enjoy the perks." Harper backed up a step, her breathing shallow. The weight of it all pressed down at once. The marriage certificate, the ring, the men with guns, the goddamn Santoro name. It was too much. She needed air. I need to think," she muttered, clutching the towel tighter and slipping back into the bathroom. She splashed cold water on her face, gripping the marble sink like it was the only stable thing in her life. "Okay," she whispered to her reflection. "Okay. This is fine. You're a lawyer. You've handled worse. You can figure this out." A knock at the door. "If you're still in there in 10 minutes, I'm sending someone in," Alex called. "You need a dress. Hair. We leave in an hour." "You're insane," Harper yelled back. "And yet you married me." Harper stared at her reflection. She could walk, take the elevator, disappear, pretend this never happened. But somewhere deep down, she knew that Alex wasn't bluffing. She was in danger now. She was in it. And worse, a small, traitorous part of her didn't want to run. That part remembered the flash in Alex's eyes, the spark between them, the idea of being chosen, desired, even if it came wrapped in chaos. 10 minutes later, Harper emerged in a dress that fit too well to be coincidence. Black, backless, expensive. Her hair was styled, her heels sharp, her resolve fragile. Alex gave her a once-over and nodded in approval. "Now you look like a Santoro." "Don't get used to it," Harper muttered. Too late. The ride to the restaurant was silent. Tense. Harper stared out the window at the glittering chaos of Vegas, her pulse loud in her ears. Alex sat beside her, calm as ever, fingers tapping against her thigh. When they arrived, the restaurant was half closed to the public. A private room waited in the back. The air was thick with money and menace. Inside sat 6 people. All turned to stare the moment Harper entered. An older man with cold eyes and a scar across his cheek. A woman with tight lips and tighter pearls. 2 younger men, cousins maybe. And a girl with striking red lipstick and a cigarette she didn't bother to hide. Everyone, Alex said smoothly, hand on Harper's lower back. This is Harper, my wife. A beat of silence. Then the older man spoke. So, this is the American girl you married in a drunken Vegas stunt. Harper swallowed. Alex didn't flinch. She's not a stunt. She's not Italian, the woman snapped. She's not Mafia. She's not anything. She's mine, Alex said, voice like steel. The room went quiet. Harper's hand trembled slightly under the table. She could feel the weight of everyone's judgment, the suspicion, the disdain. But when she glanced at Alex, there was something fierce in her expression. Protective, possessive. And when their eyes met, something passed between them. Hot, electric, unspoken. A connection. A warning. A promise. Harper wasn't sure what scared her more, the danger she was in or how much she didn't want to walk away. The silence in the penthouse was deafening. Harper stepped inside like she was entering a crime scene, which, technically, wasn't that far off, and dropped her clutch onto the marble table with more force than necessary. She didn't even glance at Alex as she kicked off her heels, feeling the ache in her feet for the first time. The night had been a slow descent into madness. From the quiet threats hidden behind polite smiles at dinner, to the calculated way Alex had claimed her in front of the entire Santoro inner circle, Harper was running on adrenaline, confusion, and a very dangerous mix of attraction and dread. Alex followed her inside with unhurried steps, removed her jacket, and tossed it over the back of a chair. Her eyes were on Harper the whole time. "You held your own," she said at last, voice low. "They didn't eat you alive." "Gee, thanks," Harper snapped, heading straight to the minibar. She pulled out a tiny bottle of vodka, twisted the cap, and downed it in one swallow. Was that some kind of test? See if your fake wife could survive the sharks. It wasn't a test. It was a necessity. You needed to be seen, to be accepted. They didn't accept me. Not yet. Harper laughed bitterly.
Right.
And how long do I have to keep up this farce before they start to pretend to tolerate me? 6 months, Alex said simply. Harper turned to face her. You're serious about the timeline?
Deadly.
Why me? She asked again, softer this time. You could have picked anyone. Someone who knew what they were doing, who grew up in this world. Alex took a step closer, her gaze unreadable. Because I wanted someone who doesn't belong. Who's clean. Untouched. You're the opposite of all of them, Harper. That makes you valuable. Or disposable. Alex's eyes flashed. Never that. The way she said it made Harper's pulse trip. She looked away, fighting the heat crawling up her neck. Well, she muttered, I hope you're happy. Love what you've seen so far, and want to help me keep creating these awesome stories on this channel? Then subscribe and hit the bell. Your subscription supports the channel and makes sure you get more exciting stories. Your family thinks I'm either a joke or a liability. Your cousin practically growled at me. Which one? The red lipstick one. What's her deal? Gianna, Alex said with a dismissive shrug. She's dramatic. She wants what I have. Which is what exactly? The empire? Or the clueless wife? Alex smirked. Both, probably. Harper groaned and walked across the room, aiming for distance, but the open layout gave her nowhere to hide. She paused near the bedroom door and froze. Please tell me you have a guest room. Nope. Alex leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. One bed. That's how married couples usually sleep, right? We are not. I won't bite. That's not the problem, Harper muttered. Then what is? Alex's voice dropped an octave. Harper hesitated. The words tangled on her tongue. The problem was the way Alex looked at her, like she saw right through the layers Harper had spent years building. The problem was the heat that coiled low in her stomach every time Alex got too close. The problem was, Harper wasn't sure she wanted to pull away. "Fine," she said at last, brushing past Alex into the bedroom. The room was dimly lit, massive, and terrifyingly intimate. One king-size bed. No couch. No escape. She went straight for the bathroom and locked the door. When she emerged 20 minutes later, her makeup was off, her hair pulled back, and she was wearing an oversized t-shirt and shorts, about as unsexy as she could make herself feel. But the second she stepped into the bedroom, she regretted every choice. Alex was already in bed, propped up against the headboard, reading something on her phone. She wore a silk camisole that left nothing to the imagination and shorts that didn't even deserve the name. Her legs were bare. Her skin glowed in the low light. Harper swallowed hard. "Seriously?" she said. "What?" Alex didn't look up. "That's your idea of sleepwear?" "I wasn't expecting company." Harper huffed and climbed into the bed as far to the edge as she could possibly get. She turned off the lamp on her side and stared at the wall. "No funny business." "Define funny," Alex said lazily. Harper didn't respond, but her heart wouldn't settle. She lay in the dark, every sense alert, aware of every breath Alex took beside her. Minutes passed, maybe hours. At some point, she heard Alex's voice, soft and close. "Can't sleep? Gee, I wonder why." A pause. Then Alex said, "You did good tonight." Harper frowned. "What?" "The family's hard to handle. You didn't fold. That matters." Harper shifted to look at her. "Why are you being nice to me?" Alex met her gaze in the dark. "Because this is hard for you. And because you didn't have to say yes." "I didn't say yes. I just didn't run." "Close enough." Silence fell again, heavier this time. Harper stared at Alex, searching her face. "Why do you really need me?" she asked quietly. Alex hesitated. "Because I'm being challenged. From inside the family. I need to prove I can lead. That I'm grounded. Responsible. Settled. So, I'm your grounding wire?" "You're more than that." "Like what?" Another beat of silence. Then Alex whispered, like the first person who didn't flinch when I touched them. Harper's breath caught. "That's not true." "It is. Everyone either wants something from me or fears me. You didn't even know who I was when you kissed me last night." "Wait. I kissed you?" Alex's smile turned wicked. "Oh yeah. You were very enthusiastic." "Shut up," Harper groaned, burying her face in the pillow. Alex chuckled. But then her voice turned serious. "You don't have to be scared of me, Harper." Harper turned her head just enough to see her. "That's the scariest thing you've said all night." Alex reached out. Just a touch, fingertips brushing Harper's wrist. A soft, tentative contact. "I won't hurt you." Harper didn't move. She didn't pull away. Her skin buzzed where Alex touched her. Her body betrayed her with a shiver. When Alex pulled back, Harper was left breathless, aching, confused, and more awake than ever. Harper never imagined that she'd start her morning being zipped into a designer dress by a woman who made murder look like foreplay. But here she was, standing in front of a full-length mirror in Alex's penthouse, trying to breathe while the other woman's fingers moved deliberately up her spine. "This is ridiculous," Harper muttered, glaring at her reflection. "Why am I even going to this thing?" "Because you're my wife," Alex said smoothly, voice warm at her ear. "And wives attend charity galas. Even fake ones." "You didn't mention a red carpet," Harper shot back. "Or cameras. Or bodyguards." "Must have slipped my mind. You're enjoying this." "Not as much as I will when you start smiling for the cameras." Harper turned around sharply, only to find herself far too close to Alex's face. Her breath caught. Alex's lips were a breath away. Her gaze, cool and calculating the night before, now seemed to smolder with something else. Something Harper wasn't ready to name. She stepped back. "Just don't leave me alone out there. I don't know these people." "You know me." "Barely." "You know enough." Harper hated how that was starting to feel true. 30 minutes later, they stepped out of the car onto the carpet. The flashes were instant, bright, chaotic, blinding. Dozens of voices shouting questions, demanding attention. Miss Santoro. Who's your wife? Harper, over here. Are the wedding rumors true? Alex. Is this a Mafia alliance or a love story? Harper flinched. Alex didn't. She placed a steady hand at the small of Harper's back and guided her through the storm like she'd done this 1,000 times. Maybe she had. Smile. Alex whispered through her teeth. Pretend you like me. Harper glanced at her. I don't have to pretend that hard. Alex's lips twitched. Good girl. That shouldn't have made Harper shiver. But it did. Inside, the ballroom was dripping in luxury. Chandeliers, champagne towers, polished floors that echoed with wealth and power. People turned as they entered. Whispers followed them. Harper tried not to shrink. She tried not to show how out of place she felt in a sea of diamonds and daggers. Alex leaned in. Relax. They'll smell fear. Comforting. Want a drink? Only if it's pure vodka. Noted. Alex disappeared into the crowd for a moment, leaving Harper alone near a table covered in caviar and tension. She tried to blend in, sipping water, keeping her posture straight. That lasted all of 2 minutes. So, a female voice purred beside her. You're the reason Alex turned down my proposal. Harper turned and nearly choked. Gianna. Again. Lips blood red. Eyes like knives. You must be Harper. I'm so pleased to finally meet the woman who accidentally married the most dangerous woman in the city. Pleasure's mine, Harper said tightly. Tell me, Gianna said, stepping closer. Do you even know who she is? What she's done? Or did you just fall for the suit and the swagger? Harper didn't answer. Let me guess, Gianna continued. You think she's misunderstood. That under all that power and poison, there's a heart that just needs love. That's adorable. You seem very invested in someone else's marriage. Oh, sweetie, Gianna said, brushing a curl from Harper's shoulder. I just want to be there when the fantasy crumbles. Harper clenched her jaw. Don't touch me. Gianna smiled wider. There she is. The fire Alex was bragging about. Harper opened her mouth to retort, but Alex appeared at her side in an instant, drink in hand, posture suddenly dangerous. Gianna, she said coolly, didn't anyone ever tell you to stop playing with other people's toys? Gianna raised an eyebrow. You never minded when I played with yours. This one's not for sharing. Alex handed Harper the drink and slid an arm possessively around her waist. Harper's entire body tensed, then melted. Gianna's eyes narrowed. Enjoy the evening, she said, and vanished into the crowd. Harper turned to Alex. What was that? Gianna's a snake. Don't engage. She said you used to. We have history. It's over. She doesn't seem to think so. She can think whatever she wants. I'm married to you. Harper flushed. Temporarily. Alex didn't respond. Instead, she leaned closer. You okay? Not even remotely. You're doing fine. You're used to this, Harper said quietly. The power games. The threats behind smiles. I'm not. Alex studied her. I know. But you're stronger than you think. Harper hated how much that meant to her. How much she wanted to believe it. The rest of the night passed in a blur of small talk, fake smiles, and the constant pressure of Alex's hand on her waist, her back, her arm. It was possessive, protective, maddening. And it worked. By the time they slipped away from the crowd and into a quiet hallway, Harper was buzzing, half from champagne, half from Alex. You didn't have to be so physical, Harper said, trying to sound annoyed. It's part of the illusion, Alex said. It felt real. Alex stopped, turned. Did it? Harper hesitated. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. I don't know anymore. Silence. Then Alex took a step closer. You want real? Another step. This is real. Another. Now they were toe-to-toe. You're not pretending right now, are you? Alex asked, voice low. Tell me to stop, Harper. Harper's lips parted. No words came out. Tell me you don't feel this. Harper swallowed. She didn't finish. Because Alex kissed her. It wasn't soft. It wasn't polite. It was possessive, commanding, a hand at her waist, a body flush against hers. Heat ignited in every nerve, and Harper kissed her back. For one perfect, terrifying moment, she stopped thinking, stopped pretending, stopped running. Then she pulled away, breathless, shaken. That wasn't part of the deal. Alex's eyes burned.
No.
It wasn't. Harper didn't sleep. Not because of the kiss, although that alone was enough to reroute her brain's entire functioning system, but because Alex had kissed her like she meant it. Not performative. Not strategic. Just real. And Harper had kissed back like a woman with no self-preservation instinct whatsoever. Now she was lying awake in the giant bed they technically shared, staring at the ceiling like it might spell out instructions for surviving accidental marriages to mafia bosses with kissable mouths and complicated eyes. "You're brooding," came a voice in the dark. Harper flinched. "Jesus, do you sleep with your eyes open?" "Only when I sense dramatic internal monologues." Harper groaned and rolled onto her side, glaring across the bed. "What do you want, Alex?" Alex smirked, propped up on one elbow, hair messy in a way that looked criminally intentional. "To clarify something, if you say the kiss meant nothing, it didn't mean nothing," Alex said, surprisingly serious. "But it didn't have to mean everything either. Not yet." Harper blinked. "Yet. I'm not stupid, Harper. I know you're scared. And confused."
So am I.
"But that kiss? It wasn't a mistake." Harper opened her mouth, then closed it. "You're very confident for someone who blackmailed me into marriage. And you're very defensive for someone who kissed back like it was oxygen." "I hate you," Harper muttered. "Liar." Alex turned off the lamp on her side and settled back into the pillows. "Good night, wife." Harper stared into the dark, pillow over her face. "Kill me." The next morning was chaos, at least for Harper. She overslept. Again. She tripped over Alex's absurdly expensive shoes trying to get to the bathroom. Again. She discovered there was only one coffee pod left and Alex had already claimed it. Again. "You're doing this on purpose," Harper said, scowling at Alex across the kitchen island. Alex, lounging in a robe and sipping her coffee like the goddess of smug, arched one brow. "Doing what?" "Sabotaging me."
Slowly.
"With caffeine deprivation and emotional whiplash." "Darling, if I wanted to sabotage you, you'd know. It'd involve stilettos and legal loopholes." "I hate that that actually sounds hot." Alex grinned, unrepentant. "You're welcome." Before Harper could lob another insult, one of Alex's suited men, the one she secretly called Brick Wall, entered the penthouse, phone in hand and face tense. "Miss Santoro," he said. "It's your uncle. He's requesting a meeting. Tonight. Private." Alex's smirk vanished. Just like that, the room dropped 10 degrees. "Where?" "Warehouse on 32nd. "Of course it is," Alex muttered. Harper glanced between them.
"Wait.
"Warehouse? Is this some mafia cliché? Are there going to be crates of unmarked boxes and suspicious lighting?" Alex didn't answer. Her jaw was set. "Tell him I'll be there." Brick Wall nodded and left. Harper stepped closer. "What's going on?" "Nothing you need to worry about." "That's not comforting." "It's not supposed to be." Alex turned away, tension rolling off her in waves. Harper hesitated. Then, "If you go, I'm going with you." Alex spun around. "Absolutely not. I'm your wife. That's the whole game, right? We do things together. Power couple. PDA. Matching bulletproof vests. It's dangerous." "So, is being married to you?" That earned her a flicker of something. Irritation? Admiration? Maybe both. Alex exhaled slowly.
Fine.
"But you stay in the car." "Do I look like the kind of woman who waits in the car?"
No.
"That's why I'm terrified." The warehouse looked exactly like Harper imagined, dimly lit, full of shadows, and probably riddled with secrets. She stayed close behind Alex, who was now in full mafia boss mode, sharp suit, sharper eyes, every movement calculated. Inside, an older man waited, mid-60s. neatly dressed, eyes like oil. Alexandra, he said, not bothering to hide his disdain. Uncle Mateo, Alex replied, voice cool. To what do I owe this charming invitation? You've been reckless.
Public.
Weak. He glanced at Harper. Married to a stranger from Vegas. Making headlines. Embarrassing the name. Harper bristled. I'm standing right here. You shouldn't be. And yet I am. Mateo turned back to Alex. The others are watching. They don't believe you can lead. They want to vote. Alex's jaw tightened. Let them vote. I'll bury the result. Mateo stepped closer. Careful, ragazza. You're not untouchable. Neither are you. The tension was suffocating. Harper watched as the man who'd probably taught Alex how to hold a gun tried to intimidate her, and failed. When they finally left the warehouse, Harper exhaled for the first time in 20 minutes. So, she said, family dinners must be a blast. Alex didn't answer. She looked shaken.
Quiet.
Human. In the car, Harper touched her arm. You okay? I will be. That sounded suspiciously like a lie. Alex didn't look at her. They don't think I can do this.
Lead.
Be who I need to be. They see you as weakness. I'm not. I know that. But it means they might come for you. To prove a point. Harper's stomach twisted. Then I'll learn to shoot. That got a real laugh out of Alex.
Short. Surprised.
Grateful. You're unbelievable. You married me, remember? Best drunk decision I ever made. Back at the penthouse, Harper collapsed onto the couch. I'm going to need hazard pay. You'll get it. In what? Kisses and chaos. Maybe. Alex crossed the room, standing in front of her. You were brave tonight. I'm always brave. I just hide it behind sarcasm and panic. Alex knelt down. Her expression softened. You don't have to pretend with me. That's the problem. I'm not pretending anymore. A pause. A breath. And then Harper whispered, You scare the hell out of me. Alex touched her cheek. Good. I scare myself too, when it comes to you. Tell me again why we're driving into the middle of nowhere in the world's most suspicious black SUV? Harper asked, sunglasses on, arms crossed, as the Nevada desert stretched endlessly around them. Because your face is on a list of targets now, Alex replied, one hand on the wheel, the other resting too casually on the gearshift. And I don't trust anyone to watch you but me. Right, Harper said flatly. Because nothing screams safe like being alone in a cabin with a dangerous woman who kissed me like a confession and then acted like nothing happened. Alex didn't look at her. I'm protecting you.
Sure.
From bullets. Who's protecting me from you? That earned her a side glance. Intense.
Sharp.
You don't need protection from me. That's debatable. Silence fell between them again, thick and heavy with things unsaid. The road stretched endlessly ahead. 2 hours later, they pulled off the main highway onto a dirt path surrounded by dry hills and silence. At the end, a secluded cabin, modern and sleek, completely out of place in the dusty landscape. You own this? Harper asked, stepping out of the car and blinking against the sunlight. It's under a shell company, Alex said.
But yeah.
It's mine. Of course it is, Harper muttered. Do all Mafia bosses have secret desert bunkers? Or is that just you? Just me. I like privacy. Oh, great. That's never been ominous in human history. Alex shot her a smirk. You'll live. Will I? Unless you keep talking. Harper rolled her eyes and walked inside. The cabin was surprisingly cozy, wooden walls, wide windows, modern kitchen, a massive stone fireplace. And, predictably, only one bedroom. One bed. Again. Do you have something against guest rooms? Harper asked.
No.
I just don't believe in unnecessary separation. Harper stared at her. That's either romantic or deeply manipulative. Why not both? Alex dropped her bag and disappeared into the kitchen, leaving Harper alone with her spiraling thoughts. Hours passed. The sun dipped behind the hills. Harper found herself curled up on the couch with a blanket and a book she couldn't focus on. Alex, across the room, typed furiously on a laptop, her phone buzzing every 5 minutes. The tension between them was unbearable. Not hostile, not cold, just charged, like a storm waiting to hit. "You've been quiet," Harper said eventually. "Thinking. Dangerous. Necessary." Harper hesitated. "Do you really think someone would try to hurt me? Because of you?" Alex looked up. Her face softened. "I don't think. I know." That shook Harper more than she wanted to admit. "And what happens when this 6-month deal ends?" "I let you go. Just like that. If you want to go." "And what if I don't?" Alex's gaze locked with hers. "Then I'll find a way to make you stay." Harper swallowed. Her pulse thundered. "That sounds like a threat." "It's not. It's hope." Silence. Thick. Breathless. Harper stood, tossing the blanket aside. "This is insane," she whispered. "You're dangerous. This whole thing is a disaster." "Probably. And yet. Harper crossed the room, stopped inches from her. Her voice dropped. "I can't stop thinking about that kiss." Alex stood slowly. "Then don't. I'm not good at this." "Neither am I." "But I want," she didn't finish. She didn't have to, because Alex kissed her again. And this time, Harper didn't hesitate. She wrapped her arms around Alex's neck, pulled her closer, melted into the heat of her. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't sweet. It was messy and hungry and real. Alex lifted her, hands gripping her thighs, and Harper gasped into her mouth as she was carried toward the bedroom. "Wait," Harper said, breathless. "Are we? Only if you want to," Alex murmured against her skin. "Tell me now." Harper looked into her eyes. "I want to." Clothes fell like leaves in autumn. Quick. Natural.
Right.
Harper had never felt this way. Not with anyone. Not like this. Alex was fire and shadow, rough and reverent, pulling sounds from Harper she didn't know she could make. It was chaos and comfort all at once. Afterward, wrapped in sheets and silence, Harper lay on her side, fingers tracing patterns on Alex's bare shoulder. "Well," she said softly, "that escalated." Alex chuckled. "You're not regretting it?"
No.
"That's the problem." Alex turned to face her. "We can keep pretending. Keep calling this a deal. But you and I both know this stopped being fake a long time ago." Harper closed her eyes.
Yeah.
"I know."
A beat.
Then Harper added, "Also, next time we hide out, I'm picking the place." "Why?" "Because I swear I saw a scorpion in the bathroom." Alex laughed into her shoulder.
Deal.
The city greeted them like a slap. Harper hadn't realized how much she'd grown used to the silence of the desert until the constant hum of New York swallowed her whole again. Traffic, sirens, voices barking into cell phones. Civilization was a roar, and they were stepping right into its teeth. Alex was quiet the entire drive back. No smirks. No sarcasm. Just one hand on the wheel, and the other curled into a fist on her thigh. Harper watched her out of the corner of her eye, and for the first time, the silence between them wasn't tense. It was worried. Not about what they were to each other, but about what waited for them at home. "Do you think they'll try something?" Harper asked finally, her voice soft but steady. Alex didn't look at her. They already did. That made Harper's stomach twist. The warehouse meeting wasn't just intimidation, was it? No, it was a warning. It was a countdown. Harper swallowed hard. The penthouse looked untouched when they arrived. Too untouched. Like someone had gone out of their way to make it seem untouched. Alex's eyes narrowed as soon as they walked in. "Stay here," she whispered.
What? No.
"If something's wrong, Harper." One word. Sharp. Final. Harper froze as Alex disappeared into the kitchen, then down the hallway. Silence. Then crash. Harper ran without thinking. Found Alex in the bedroom doorway, gun in hand, face hard as stone. The window was shattered. Glass all over the floor. On the bed, a single object. A knife, stabbed into a photograph. A photograph of Harper. Her face circled in red. Harper's knees nearly buckled. Is that from my LinkedIn? Stay back, Alex said, scanning the room. We were supposed to be gone longer. Someone got impatient. They were here, or sent someone to leave a message. Harper stared at the photo. That's not a message. That's a declaration. Alex lowered the gun, breathing hard. We need to move. Again, you're not safe here. No, Harper said, surprising herself. I'm not running again. Harper, I want to help. You can't. Watch me. They argued for hours. Alex tried every tactic, cold logic, sarcasm, veiled orders. But Harper stood her ground. Fierce. Unshakable. She'd watched Alex fight for her, protect her, claim her. Now it was her turn. I'm not your weakness, Harper said finally, stepping into Alex's space, hand on her chest. I'm your partner. So let me fight like one. Alex stared at her. Something broke in her eyes. Then she kissed her. Fiercely, desperately. You're going to get me killed, she whispered against Harper's mouth. Then we'll go down together. The next day was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your skin itch. Alex disappeared into phone calls and coded messages. Harper stayed close, pretending to read a book while actually memorizing the layout of the penthouse. She learned the locations of every exit, every security panel, every weapon. Just in case. It happened around 2 a.m. A sharp beep. Then a flicker in the security feed. Then silence. Alex was still on the balcony, unaware. Harper moved before she could think. Grabbed the nearest gun from the kitchen drawer, because of course there were guns in every drawer, and stepped into the hallway. A shadow moved near the front door. She didn't hesitate. Stop right there, she shouted, gun raised with trembling hands. The figure froze. A second later, a second shadow appeared behind the first. Masked. Armed. Moving fast. Alex. Harper screamed. Chaos exploded.
Gunfire.
Shouting. Alex barreling in from the balcony, firing clean, precise shots. Harper ducked behind the couch, heart slamming, ears ringing. One man went down. The other lunged for Harper. She fired.
Missed.
He grabbed her wrist. They struggled. She bit his arm. He dropped the knife. She kicked him in the stomach.
He fell.
Alex was there in a second, finishing it. Then silence. Just panting.
Blood.
Shattered glass. And Harper, frozen. Are you hurt? Alex demanded, voice breaking. Harper shook her head. I'm okay. I'm okay. Are you? And then she saw it. The blood spreading across Alex's side.
Dark.
Alarming. Oh my God, Harper gasped. You're bleeding. Alex swayed. Harper caught her before she hit the floor. I'm fine, Alex muttered. No, you're not, Harper said, dragging her to the couch. Don't you dare pass out on me. I swear to God, if you die, I will kill you. Such sweet words. Shut up. Harper ripped off her shirt and pressed it to the wound, hands shaking. Stay with me, Alex. Trying. You're not allowed to die. Not after you finally kissed me like you meant it. Not after I finally stopped running. You stopped running? Harper looked into her eyes. Yeah, I think I did. Alex smiled. Took you long enough. Harper had never been more afraid in her life. And she'd once tried to give a closing argument in front of a federal judge with a nosebleed and no prep. That was nothing compared to watching Alex, half conscious and bleeding, collapse into her arms. The hours that followed blurred. A private doctor, discreet and grim, patched Alex up on the penthouse couch while Harper hovered nearby, refusing to sit. Her hands were still stained with blood. Her shirt long gone, sacrificed to stop the bleeding. She felt like someone else entirely. The kind of woman who could shoot a man. The kind who could protect the person she loved, even if she was only just starting to admit it. When the doctor finally left, muttering instructions and warnings Harper barely heard, the room went still. Alex lay in bed, half sitting against a stack of pillows, pale but alive. Harper stood by the window, arms crossed tightly over her chest. I told you to let me handle it, Alex said quietly. Harper turned slowly. And I told you I'm not just a chess piece in your Mafia soap opera. This isn't a soap opera. Could have fooled me. Assassins, betrayal, forbidden kisses. All that's missing is an evil twin. Give it time. Alex smirked faintly, but her face twisted with pain. Harper was at her side in an instant. Stop pretending you're fine. I am fine. You lost a lot of blood. I've had worse. That's not comforting, Alex. Alex opened her mouth, then closed it. You shouldn't have been in that apartment. And yet, if I hadn't been, you'd be dead. Harper sat beside her. So maybe stop trying to push me away and accept the fact that I'm not going anywhere. The silence between them thickened. Then Alex said, very quietly, you shouldn't love me. Harper blinked. Excuse me? I'm not safe. I'm not good. This world eats people like you alive. Then maybe I'll bite back. Harper, no. No more self-sacrificing Mafia queen speeches. I'm here. I chose to stay. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Alex looked at her like she didn't know whether to kiss her or cry. They're coming for me, she whispered. They think I'm weak. And now they think you're my weakness. They're wrong. Harper reached out, brushing a strand of hair from Alex's face. Because if they come for you again, they'll learn what happens when someone tries to take what's mine. The words hung in the air, heavy and unspoken, mine. Alex closed her eyes. God, I'm falling in love with you. Harper froze. Her breath caught. Say that again. No, Alex, I'm on pain meds. It doesn't count. It counts. Alex opened her eyes, slow and raw. Then yes, I love you. And it's the worst idea I've ever had. Too late, Harper said softly. Because I think I love you back. They didn't kiss, not then. The air was too tender, too fragile. Instead, Harper laid beside her, curled gently around her body, arms protective but reverent. The kind of closeness that said you're safe now. You're not alone. The next few days passed in a strange rhythm. Alex healing slowly, Harper playing nurse, bodyguard, and sarcastic wife in equal measure. The penthouse became a strange kind of sanctuary. They watched old movies. Alex dozed in Harper's lap. Harper read aloud from terrible mystery novels. They laughed. They argued. They flirted with heat and humor and longing. It was the happiest Harper had been in years. Until the phone call came. It was late. Harper was brushing her teeth when Alex's burner phone buzzed once, then again. Alex answered, said 3 words, and went still. Harper walked into the room, toothbrush still in hand. What's wrong? Alex didn't look at her. We have a leak. A leak. Someone in my circle. Someone close. They tipped off the men who broke in. Harper's stomach sank. Do you know who? Not yet. Alex's face was made of stone.
Cold.
Controlled. But I will. That night, Harper couldn't sleep. She lay awake beside Alex, staring at the ceiling. Someone had betrayed her. Someone Alex trusted. And whoever it was, they knew Harper's name. Her face. The way she smelled when she fell asleep pressed against Alex's side. The next morning, Alex was gone.
Just gone.
No note. No explanation. Her phone on the nightstand. Harper's panic spiked instantly. She called brick wall. No answer. She called the second in command, a woman named Rosa. Straight to voicemail. Something was wrong. She threw on jeans and a jacket, grabbed the gun she still hated holding, and stormed out of the penthouse. She found Alex 3 hours later, in an abandoned building near the docks. Alone. Bloody. Furious. Holding a gun to the head of someone Harper recognized immediately. Gianna, are you insane? Harper shouted, barging in. Alex didn't turn. She sold us out. How do you know? Because she just admitted it. Gianna glared up at Harper. Nice to see you too, wife. Don't, Harper snapped. You betrayed Alex? I was trying to protect her, Gianna hissed. She was spiraling. Losing control. You made her soft. You don't get to decide who she is, Harper said, stepping between them. Alex's gun didn't waver. Move, Harper. No, move. If you shoot her, Harper said, you'll prove them right. You'll lose yourself. Alex's hands trembled. Her jaw clenched. She nearly got you killed. And you killing her won't fix that. Gianna was crying now. Quiet, angry tears. Alex lowered the gun.
Slowly.
Her shoulders shaking. Harper moved to her side. Come home, she whispered. Come back to me. Alex let the gun fall. Harper caught her as she broke. The car ride to the meeting felt like a countdown to war. Harper sat in the back seat of the armored vehicle, flanked by two of Alex's trusted guards, Brickwall and Rosa, both armed, both silent, both watching the world outside the tinted windows like it was seconds from burning. Beside Harper, Alex sat in a sleek black suit tailored within an inch of its life. Her shirt was unbuttoned just enough to hint at power, but not softness. The only adornment was a single silver pin on her lapel, the Santoro family crest. It gleamed like a challenge. Harper had never seen her like this.
Calm. Deadly.
Beautiful, in a way that made your chest hurt. You still don't have to come, Alex said suddenly, eyes fixed forward. Harper raised an eyebrow. I've been shot at, stalked, kissed senseless, and emotionally destroyed by you. I'm coming to this damn meeting. Alex's mouth twitched. You say the sweetest things. Seriously, though, why is this so important? Because they think I've gone soft. That love makes me weak. That you make me weak. Harper's jaw clenched. Then we prove them wrong. Exactly. Alex turned to her, eyes sharp. Are you ready for them to see you as more than a lawyer? More than a wife? Harper smiled. Let them see me as your equal. The building was a relic, an old theater, long abandoned, now repurposed as a neutral ground for the 5 most powerful families in the city. The red velvet seats were rotting. The chandelier above the stage flickered ominously. But the tension in the room? Immaculate. Every head turned as Alex entered, Harper at her side. She wore black too, fitted, sharp, with a high collar and boots that clicked against the marble like punctuation. Her hair was pinned back, her makeup bold, and her eyes?
Ice.
She walked like she belonged. And maybe for the first time she did. Ah, said an older man near the front, cigar in hand. The Santoro princess arrives. And she brings her little trophy. Harper smiled sweetly.
Funny.
I thought relics like you were only kept in museums.
A beat.
A murmur. Then laughter, sharp, surprised. Alex didn't smile. She just reached for Harper's hand. She's not a trophy, she said. She's the reason I'm still standing. Harper felt her heart stumble. But she didn't break focus. The 5 heads of the families sat like judges. Matteo Santoro, Alex's uncle, already glaring. Romano, the cigar man. Alvarez, icy and unreadable. The twins from the De Luca family, whispering to each other like snakes. And then Alex stepped forward. I know what you've heard. That I've changed. That I've become weak. She glanced back at Harper. You're right. I have changed. But I'm not weak. She walked slowly down the center aisle. You think because I fell in love, I lost my edge. You think because I spared someone who betrayed me, I've grown soft. Her voice sharpened. But mercy is not weakness. Restraint is not surrender.
She paused.
And anyone who thinks I'm no longer fit to lead is welcome to challenge me. Right here. Right now. Silence. Then Romano stood. You really expect us to trust a woman ruled by her heart? Harper stepped forward before she could stop herself. You trusted men ruled by ego. That didn't work out so well, did it? He blinked. Excuse me? Your last consigliere was arrested for tax fraud because he didn't know how to hide assets. I could have buried that case in paperwork. You all talk about strength like it's violence. But power? Real power? Is knowing where to cut so the other side never bleeds. They just disappear. More murmurs. More surprise. Alex was watching her now, like she wasn't sure whether to fall to her knees or laugh. Harper kept going. You don't want a leader who's angry. You want one who's strategic, who's feared and respected. That's Alex. She turned to the room. And if you don't see it, you're dumber than you look. Mateo stood now. This is absurd. No. What's absurd is that you think orchestrating a hit on your own niece wouldn't come back to bite you. The room froze. Alex's eyes snapped to Harper. But Harper was already walking toward Mateo. We traced the phone that ordered the attack. Guess whose name it was registered to? Mateo's face went pale. You're lying. Do I look like I'm joking? Mateo pulled a gun. You little, Rosa fired first. Mateo fell before he hit the floor. Chaos erupted. Guns drawn. Yelling. Harper didn't move. Anyone else? Silence. Then Romano sat back down.
Damn.
She's good. Alex walked slowly back to her. You knew. Harper nodded. Found the burner phone. Gave it to Rosa. I told you, I'm not your weakness. Alex pulled her close.
No.
You're my reckoning. And then, right there, in front of every powerful criminal in New York, she kissed her. The kiss Alex gave Harper at the end of the meeting should have felt like victory. But Harper knew better. She could feel it in the way every pair of eyes lingered too long, in the tight-lipped nods and the way some of the guards exchanged glances on the way out. They hadn't just seen a display of power. They'd seen a weakness. A target. Harper's hand never left Alex's as they left the theater. But her mind was already spinning, strategizing, calculating. When they got back to the penthouse, Alex collapsed onto the couch, finally letting the weight of the night settle across her shoulders. Well, she said, exhaling deeply. That was dramatic. You think. Harper tossed off her coat. Someone literally pulled a gun on us. Welcome to the family. Harper paced in front of her, too wired to sit. They're going to come for me again. Not through bullets. Through charm. Politics. Leverage. Alex's eyes followed her. Let them try.
No.
That's not good enough. You may be okay with waiting for the next threat to knock, but I'm not. I want to know what's coming before it hits us. And how do you plan to do that? I go to them. Alex blinked. Excuse me? I make myself available. Accessible. I let them think I can be turned. That I'm unsure. Nervous. A liability. That's dangerous. So is loving you. Harper. This is how we get ahead. Let them come to me. Let me find out who's planning what. And when they make a move, we make a bigger one. Alex stood slowly. You're talking about becoming bait. I'm talking about becoming useful. The tension stretched long between them. Then Alex stepped forward. You really would do anything for me. I already am. Even if it means lying to me? Harper hesitated. If it's to protect you? Yes. That answer didn't hurt Alex the way Harper thought it would. Instead, her eyes darkened with something deeper. Respect.
Fear.
Maybe even awe. I don't deserve you, Alex said quietly. You don't have to. Just let me help. Over the next few days, Harper began her role. The unsure outsider, the naive wife, the perfect mark. She let certain people overhear her doubts. She let herself be cornered at a fundraiser by a man named Victor DeLuca, all charm and fake sympathy. It must be exhausting, he said, swirling his drink. Loving a woman like Alex. Harper looked away. She's intense. Some would say unstable. Harper didn't respond. Victor leaned in. If you ever need someone to talk to, someone who understands what it's like to feel like a pawn, Harper forced a small smile. I'll keep that in mind. When she returned to the penthouse, Alex was waiting with a glass of wine and suspicion in her eyes. Victor DeLuca? He approached me. And you played along. Exactly like we planned. Harper. Don't start. You're too close. I know what I'm doing. Do you? Harper stared at her. You think I'm stupid? I think you're not used to this world. Then maybe this world should start getting used to me. The fight ended in a kiss. Messy. Angry. Desperate. The kind that tasted like fear. Like fire. Like don't leave me behind. A week later, the trap snapped shut. Harper met Victor at a gallery opening. She wore red, bold, sharp, unforgettable. She let him pour her a drink. Let him talk too much. Let him think he had her.
We could protect you, he said.
If it comes to war, you don't want to be on a sinking ship. You think Alex is losing? I know she is. Harper tilted her head. And if I helped you, what would I get? Victor smiled. Safety.
Power.
A future. And what happens to Alex? Victor leaned closer. Nothing she won't deserve. Harper's stomach turned, but her face didn't flinch. I'll think about it. She walked out into the alley behind the gallery and pulled out a burner phone.
He bit, she said.
They're planning to move on you next week. Where? Alex's voice was steel on the other end. Warehouse. Tuesday night. They think I'll help lure you in. Silence. Then, you okay? Harper swallowed.
No.
But I will be. You don't have to go through with it.
Yes.
I do. That night, Harper couldn't sleep. She lay beside Alex, watching her breathe. She thought of all the ways this could go wrong. Thought of what it would feel like if she lost her. Then Alex stirred, reached for her. You're shaking, she whispered. I hate lying to you. Then don't. But if I told you everything, you'd try to stop me. Damn right I would. Harper buried her face in Alex's neck. I love you. I know. And I'm scared. Me too. Do you trust me? More than anyone. Harper closed her eyes. Then promise me something. Anything. If this goes wrong, you run. Harper, promise me. I can't. Promise me, Alex. A beat. Then, I promise. But Harper knew she was lying. And Alex knew Harper was too. Harper had never worn red twice for the same enemy. But tonight it felt fitting. The same color that had once caught Victor De Luca's eye now served a different purpose. Distraction, warning, blood. She stood outside the warehouse on 14th and Mercer, the wind biting against her bare arms, her heels sharp against the pavement. The phone in her coat pocket buzzed once. A message from Alex. Are you sure? Harper didn't respond. If she did, she might fall apart. She couldn't afford to fall apart.
Not now.
Not when everything was about to burn. Inside, Victor waited. All slick confidence and barely veiled threat. You came, he said, smiling like a shark. I wasn't sure you would. You offered me a future, Harper replied, her voice calm. And I like to see my options. Smart girl. No, she said softly. Just tired of being underestimated. He gestured to a table in the center of the room, blueprints, photos, surveillance stills. All of them of Alex. Her movements. Her men. Her patterns. Harper's stomach turned. We have eyes everywhere, Victor said. She's slipping. This is the moment to strike. You help us, Harper, and we make sure you walk away untouched. Respected. Free. Free, Harper repeated, eyes on the photo of Alex leaving their penthouse 2 days ago. Funny how that suddenly sounds like a prison. She's dangerous. You know that. And you're not. Victor smiled. The difference is, I'm winning. Not for long, Harper whispered. Before Victor could react, the warehouse lights cut out. Complete darkness. A beat of silence. Then chaos. A single spotlight snapped on from above, illuminating the center of the room. And there, stepping into the light like a shadow given shape, Alex. In full black, eyes like thunder, gun drawn. Step away from my wife, she said. Victor laughed. You're too late. Am I? And then everything exploded. Gunfire erupted from every corner. Alex's men stormed in, shouting, metal, blood. Harper dove to the ground, grabbing a gun from Victor's dropped holster, her breath coming in fast bursts. She fired once, twice, ducked behind a crate. Across the room, she saw Alex drop one man with a shot to the leg, then turn and take cover as bullets ricocheted off the walls. Victor, bleeding from the shoulder, crawled toward the exit. Harper saw it before Alex did. Alex, she screamed. He's getting away. Alex turned, just in time to see Victor raise a second gun. Everything moved in slow motion. Alex lifted her arm. Too late. The shot rang out.
Harper didn't think. She didn't plan.
She just moved. Between them. The bullet hit her just below the ribs. Fire. That was what it felt like. Not pain. Not heat.
Fire.
Everything in her body screamed. She dropped to the floor. Heard Alex scream her name like a war cry. Heard another gunshot. Victor's last. Then silence. Everything hurt. The ceiling blurred. Alex's face appeared above hers, wild with panic. No, 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 Harper. Stay with me. Stay with me. Harper tried to smile. You promised not to get shot again. You idiot, Alex said, voice cracking. You're supposed to let me take the bullets. Too slow, Harper whispered. I'm faster.
Don't do this.
Don't you dare leave me. Wasn't planning to. Help is coming. Just stay awake. You're beautiful when you cry, Harper murmured. Alex let out a strangled laugh. Shut up. I love you, Harper whispered. Even when you're annoying. Even when you steal the covers. Even when you scare the hell out of me. Alex leaned down, forehead pressed to Harper's. I love you more than anything. You hear me? You come back. Or I'll drag you back myself. Harper's eyes fluttered shut. The last thing she heard before the darkness took her was Alex shouting her name like it could stop time. Alex had never been afraid of hospitals. Not until now. Now, the smell of antiseptic made her nauseous. The quiet hum of machines, the steady beeping, the sterile white lights, it all felt like a trap. A waiting room designed for torture. She sat beside Harper's hospital bed, unmoving, unblinking, her suit stained with blood. Harper's blood. Her fingers were laced through Harper's cold hand, as if holding on tightly enough could tether Harper to the world. You're supposed to be smarter than me, Alex whispered. You were supposed to let me take the bullet. That was the deal. Harper didn't respond. Hadn't for hours. The surgery was over. The bullet was out. The doctors said she'd lost too much blood. That the next 48 hours were critical. That it was up to her now. Come on, baby, Alex said, voice cracking. You've talked your way out of courtrooms and Mafia standoffs. Don't let this be the thing that wins. Outside the glass wall, Rosa stood guard like a statue. Every time someone tried to enter without clearance, she stopped them. Alex didn't want company. She didn't want flowers or condolences or offers of vengeance. She just wanted Harper to open her eyes. I told you not to go through with it, Alex whispered. I should have stopped you. I should have. Her voice broke. She stood abruptly, pacing the room like a caged animal. You saved my life. And now I don't know who I am without you. What does that make me, huh?
Weak? Soft?
Human? She laughed bitterly. I don't even care anymore. Her voice dropped. If you die, Harper, I swear I'll burn this whole city to the ground. The next day, the 5 families sent representatives. Flowers. Letters. Warnings disguised as condolences. Alex didn't respond to any of them. Instead, she summoned them, one by one, to the Santoro estate. She didn't scream, didn't cry. She sat at the head of the long marble table like a queen of knives and delivered her message with icy clarity. You come near her again, and I won't kill you. I'll erase you. Quietly. Thoroughly. No headlines. No bodies. Just gone. The room was silent. No one dared challenge her. Victor was dead. Mateo was gone. Alex was now the undisputed head of the most feared organization in the city. But power didn't feel like victory. It felt like ash. Back at the hospital, Harper remained unconscious. Machines kept her breathing. Her heart still beat, steady, slow, defiant. But she hadn't moved, hadn't opened her eyes. Alex stayed, day and night. She didn't sleep. She barely ate. She just watched, waited, spoke to her in whispers, told her stories, apologized, promised things. The city changed around them. News spread of Victor's fall. The De Luca family fractured. Rivals retreated. Power shifted. But Alex didn't care. Not really. Not without Harper awake to see it. On the 5th day, Harper's fingers twitched. Alex jolted upright. Harper. Nothing.
She leaned in.
Harper, it's me. You're okay. You're safe. Harper stirred again. A small sound escaped her lips, soft, hoarse, broken. Alex nearly collapsed. She pressed the call button, yelling for a nurse, tears blurring her vision. When Harper's eyes finally opened, everything changed. Alex gripped her hand. "You're back. Jesus, you're back." Harper blinked slowly. "You look like shit." Alex laughed, breathless, eyes full of tears. "God, I missed your mouth." "Water," Harper croaked. Alex helped her sip. Harper closed her eyes again, but this time it was from exhaustion, not unconsciousness. "You stayed," she whispered. "Always." "You're not mad. Furious."
Good.
"Why?" "Because it means you still love me." Alex rested her forehead against Harper's hand. "I never stopped." Harper was too weak to smile, but her voice still carried that sharp edge. "Did we win?" "We did." "And you didn't burn the city down?" "Not yet." Harper squeezed her hand. "I'd like to see it first, if that's all right." Alex let out a sound that was half laugh, half sob. "I love you so much it hurts." Harper opened her eyes again.
Good.
"Then we're even." Recovery was hell. Harper had always been independent, stubborn to a fault, and allergic to being told to rest. Now, confined to a penthouse-turned-private hospital, with a bullet wound healing beneath her ribs and Alex hovering like a storm cloud in a suit, she was going slowly insane. "You're hovering again," Harper muttered, glaring at the soup Alex placed in front of her. "I'm monitoring," Alex corrected. "You almost died. Forgive me for making sure you don't starve to death 3 feet from a kitchen. You're smothering me with love and soup. It's confusing."
Good.
"Confusion keeps you in bed, which keeps you alive." Harper sighed. "I want to get back to work." "There is no work. You're rebuilding an empire and pretending I'm not part of it." Alex's jaw tightened. "You are part of it. You're the part one won't let bleed again." That shut Harper up for about 10 seconds. Then she set down her spoon and met Alex's gaze. "You can't protect me from everything. Watch me." "That's not partnership. That's prison." Alex flinched just slightly, then turned away. "You don't understand what it's like," she said softly. "Waking up every day afraid someone will use you to hurt me. That the second I stop watching, someone like Victor's dead. There's always another Victor." Harper stood, slowly, painfully, and crossed to her. She cupped Alex's face gently. "And I'm not helpless. I won't let you fight this war alone." Alex searched her face. "You're not ready." "I'm not asking to storm warehouses. I'm asking to stand beside you." A long pause. Then Alex nodded. "Just once." Harper smiled.
Now.
"Can you bring me something stronger than soup? Like bourbon. Or an empire strategy?" Alex exhaled. "God, I missed your mouth. Tell me something I don't know." They spent the next few days re-establishing power. Harper worked with Rosa on restructuring the legal fronts of the organization. Alex met with international contacts to reaffirm alliances. And for the first time, they worked as equals. Partners. Lovers. Not pieces in a performance, but something real. Something unbreakable. Until the letter came. No name. No return address. Just a red envelope, slipped under the door while Alex and Harper were on the rooftop. Rosa hadn't seen anyone. The cameras caught nothing. Alex opened it carefully. Inside was a single sentence. "Does she know what you did in Boston?" Harper froze. Her blood ran cold. "Alex, Harper. What happened in Boston?" Harper didn't answer. She couldn't. The silence stretched. Alex's voice sharpened. "Who sent this?" "I don't know." "Is it real?" Harper swallowed. "Yes." Alex stared at her. "Then you're going to tell me. Now." Harper sat down. Her knees felt like water. 10 years ago, I was engaged." Alex blinked. "You what?" "It was stupid. We were in law school. I was 23. Her name was Lydia. She was brilliant, obsessive, intense. She pulled me in like gravity." "What happened?" Harper looked at the floor. "I left. She was not safe. Not healthy. And I couldn't fix her. She didn't take it well. How not well? Harper hesitated. She faked a suicide attempt, had me investigated at my firm, sent emails to my boss posing as clients. I moved cities, changed numbers. I haven't seen her in 8 years. And now she's back. I don't know, but someone knows about her. Alex paced the room like a caged animal. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wanted to be someone new with you. You don't get to decide what truths I can handle, Harper. And you didn't tell me about your family's first kill until week 5. That's different. Is it? The air between them cracked with tension. Then Alex stopped pacing. Do you still love her? Are you serious? I need to hear it. Harper stood. She ruined my life. She tried to erase me. You think I would bleed for you if there was even a part of me still tied to her? Alex didn't answer. Harper stepped closer. Whatever's coming, we face it together. But you don't get to doubt my heart. I don't doubt your heart, Alex said softly. I doubt hers. That night, they barely slept. At 3 a.m., Rosa sent a message. Security footage at lobby level shows a woman matching Lydia's profile entering the building 2 nights ago. Harper stared at the screen. The frame froze on a grainy image, blonde, slender, expensive coat. She was holding a single white lily. What the hell does that mean? Harper whispered. In her language? Alex said. It means she's not done. Alex had faced cartels, betrayal, blood, and war. But nothing felt like this. Nothing had ever hollowed her out like the moment she walked into the penthouse at 7:43 a.m. and found Harper gone. Her side of the bed was cold. Her phone was still on the nightstand. No note. No message. No trace. Rosa was downstairs. She didn't come through the lobby, she swore. No one did. We reviewed the tapes. But Harper was gone. And in her place, in the center of the kitchen island, was a single white lily. Alex stared at it like it might explode. I want every street camera, every plate scanner, every face ID match for the last 6 hours, she barked. Rosa didn't question it. She just moved. Alex's hands trembled as she poured herself a glass of water. She didn't drink it. She couldn't. Her stomach was fire. Lydia. Somehow, that ghost had walked past guards, surveillance, 2 armed floors, and vanished with the woman Alex loved. She went back to the bedroom, scanned every inch. That's when she saw it. Harper's emergency necklace, the slim black one with a hidden GPS pin. On the floor. Cut clean. That was intentional. That was a message. The address came 3 hours later. A warehouse again. Of course. Lydia had a flair for the theatrical. Harper always said she treated obsession like performance art. Alex arrived with 4 cars, 12 men, body armor under her coat, and fury in her chest. But when they reached the front door, a voice called out from a speaker. Come alone, or she dies. Rosa grabbed her arm. Alex, this is a trap. Obviously. Let me. No. She's mine. Alex handed Rosa her gun, then walked into the lion's den unarmed. The warehouse was quiet. Dust floated like smoke in the beams of sunlight filtering through shattered windows. And in the center, tied to a chair, pale and bleeding from her lip, was Harper. Alex's vision tunneled. You came a voice behind her.
Soft.
Feminine. Sickeningly familiar. Lydia stepped into the light.
Blonde.
Elegant. Smiling like the devil. You always do, don't you? For her. Alex didn't look away from Harper. Let her go. Or what? You'll see what happens when someone touches what's mine. So possessive, Lydia cooed. She used to hate that. Did you know? She's not yours. No, Lydia said, circling Harper. But she was. Once. Harper lifted her head. Don't listen to her. Should, darling, Lydia purred. You said forever once. Remember? I was 23. And stupid. You said I was brilliant, beautiful, and dangerous. Alex stepped forward. I'm giving you one chance to walk away. Lydia tilted her head. I'm smarter than you, Alexandra. I don't use guns. I use loyalty. You think Harper chose you? She settled. Alex's fists clenched. She bled for me. She bled for an illusion, Lydia snapped. You're a criminal. A killer. And she's still trying to fix broken people. I was the first. You're the last. But she'll always love the ones who hurt her. Alex took another step. You think this will bring her back to you?
No.
I just want to break her the way she broke me. She pulled a knife, pressed it to Harper's throat. Alex froze. Don't. Harper looked at her, not with fear, but with fire. I'm not afraid of her, she said. I'm afraid of losing you. You're not going to lose me, Alex said, voice shaking. Just hold on. She always did like the dramatic types, Lydia muttered. Then, for a second, less than a second, she dropped her guard. And Harper moved. She jerked her head back, smashing it into Lydia's chin. The knife dropped. Alex lunged, took Lydia down in one strike. The fight was fast, brutal, and over in seconds. When it was done, Lydia was unconscious, bloody on the floor. Alex ran to Harper, untied her, pulled her into her arms. Harper collapsed into her chest, shaking. You came. Always. She was going to. I know. I didn't think you'd let me go. Never. You didn't bring a gun? You were more important. Harper laughed weakly. Idiot. Alex smiled. You're idiot. They sat there, on the cold concrete floor, holding each other while sirens grew louder in the distance. Alex didn't care. Harper was alive. And this time, she wasn't letting go. It took weeks for the dust to settle. Lydia was arrested, but the media spun it into something salacious. Powerful Mafia heiress rescues wife from obsessed ex-lover. The tabloids ate it up. Harper's inbox exploded. Book deals. Interviews. Podcast requests. She deleted them all. Alex, on the other hand, handled it with her usual flair. Let them talk, she'd said, sipping espresso on the balcony in her robe and sunglasses. The more they're focused on our personal life, the less they notice I just bought half the East Side. But Harper noticed. She noticed everything. The way Alex softened when she walked into the room now. The way she no longer flinched when Harper touched the scar just under her ribs. The way they both breathed easier at night. The trauma was still there. It always would be. But they were healing. Together. 1 month later, Harper stood in front of a mirror in a white jumpsuit that screamed confidence and maybe just a little, I married a mafia boss and survived. Alex entered the room behind her, black suit tailored to sin, a soft white rose tucked in her lapel. You look like vengeance and grace, Alex said, lips brushing her neck. You're not supposed to see me before the ceremony. We're breaking enough traditions already. Harper turned. You're really doing this? I am. No tricks. No guns. No enemies crashing the venue? I had the building swept 3 times. You're insane. You're marrying me. Touché. The second wedding was nothing like the first. No Vegas chapel. No drunken slurring of vows. No Elvis impersonator. Just a garden on a rooftop at sunset. Close friends. Rosa crying softly behind her sunglasses. A ring on Harper's finger that Alex had designed herself, sleek, minimal, engraved inside with, still my favorite accident. Harper's vows were short, sharp, honest. I didn't plan for you. I didn't want chaos. I didn't think I could survive it. But loving you made me braver than I've ever been. And if I had to do it all again, the bullets, the fake marriage, the mafia, I would. 100 times. As long as it ends here. With you. Alex's voice trembled on her turn. You ruined my plans. You made me hesitate in rooms where I was trained to kill. You made me laugh when I wanted to scream. You saw through the fire and found a heart I didn't think I still had. You're not my weakness, Harper. You're my reason. And when they kissed, slow, deep, hands tangled in silk and certainty, the city below them blinked on with lights. That night, barefoot in their kitchen, Harper fed Alex cake from her fingers and said, We're married. Again. Alex, licking frosting from Harper's wrist, replied, This time you remember it. This time I chose it. This time. Every time, Harper said. Every version of me, in every universe, would find you. Even if I was a criminal? Even if I was the one holding the gun? Alex's eyes softened. Are you scared? Not anymore.
Why?
Harper leaned in. Because I know how this ends.
How?
With me and you.
Alive.
In love. And very, very dangerous together. God, I love you. Yeah, Harper grinned. I know. The Santoro penthouse was quiet, the rare kind of silence that only came when no one was plotting against you, bleeding on your floors, or crashing through your windows. Outside, Manhattan glittered. Inside, Harper stood barefoot in a silk robe, drinking coffee and reading a court document with one hand while the other absent-mindedly traced the diamond ring on her finger. You're up early, came Alex's voice behind her, lower, rough with sleep, sinful. Technically, I never went to bed, Harper said without turning. Rosa sent over a merger contract that looks like it was written by a toddler with a god complex. Sexy. Harper smiled, eyes still on the paper. Didn't you have a 3 a.m. arms deal? I canceled. What? Why? Alex walked up behind her, wrapped her arms around Harper's waist, and kissed the side of her neck. Because I like this more. Cuddling me while I destroy bad legal grammar? Exactly. Harper leaned into her. You're getting soft, Santoro. You're getting bold, Reed. I'm your wife. I've earned it. Alex turned her around, fingers sliding beneath the silk belt of Harper's robe. You've earned a lot of things. Like what? Harper asked, eyes glinting. Like not being interrupted while I do this. The kiss was slow, familiar,
Deep.
like home. When they finally broke apart, Harper whispered, if I told 23-year-old me I'd end up married to a Mafia boss with a penthouse view and matching guns in the nightstand, would she believe it? She'd think I was crazy. Alex grinned. You kind of are. But happy. So am I. And safe. Always. And dangerous? Only for you. Harper laughed softly. Good. Why? Because I plan on keeping you for a long, long time. That a threat or a promise? Both. Thank you so much for being here and for believing in this channel. If you feel in your heart, you can donate with super thanks so I can focus more and more on this project. Your support helps me keep creating these love stories and bringing them to life for you. See you in the next video.